We are back, episode 5 of the Nosebleeds Sports Podcast. And oh boy, we got a lot to talk about today. But first, I am joined by my two other hosts, Vince, Brady. Guys, how are we doing today?
It's a good Monday. I'm using natural light for the first time because we're not filming this at like 9 o'clock at night. So it's a good day. It's a good day.
Yep, great day. Got on working, and it's a little cloudy, a little rainy outside, but it's all right. New setting for me, basement unlocked.
Let's get it, man. I'm excited. A lot happened today. We got a lot to discuss. We got game 3 of the NBA Finals going on tonight. Brendan Sorsby being able to play college football. There's a lot to discuss, but before we get into our topics, we got to say a little announcement we got to make. Next week, June 15th, there will be no episode 6 as me and Brady are going on vacation and we do not want to leave Vince by himself doing a podcast by himself. You know what I'm saying? So, again, no show June 15th. We'll be back on episode 6 June 22nd. So, again, no show June 15th. We'll be back June 22nd for episode 6. So during the break, catch up on our other episodes. We got 4 other episodes out right now on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and go follow all of our social medias during this break and just tune in. But guys,
check out the content.
Are you ready for ice-breaking questions of the week?
Let's do it.
All right, my first question for you guys is, what is your favorite tailgate food? So it could be some breakfast sandwiches if you got an early game, a taco bar. What we think of, guys?
Yeah, I gotta say, you can't go wrong with buffalo chicken dip, dude. It always hits. It's so good. It's been a while since I've tailgated, but I know for Notre Dame Rice, I'm going to be tailgating. We're going to be out there pretty early. We're going to see what we got there. But buffalo chicken dip, come on. A little hot buffalo chicken dip.
Vince, before you go, I had buffalo chicken dip too as my favorite tailgate food because that's like, I feel like chips and dip on a tailgate. That's the easiest.
Yeah, it's like the perfect combo, pretty much.
It's the best thing. And I was also gonna say, when we went to a Bengals game, my dad's buddy does a big tailgate, and they had a taco bar for one of the games, and that was pretty fire. So, but buffalo chicken dip is my favorite tailgate food.
I had some taco bar food last night. Last night, and it hit, bro. It hit.
What about you, man?
But my favorite, just give me some freaking wings, dude. Oh, man,
I just feel like it's kind of like rare to see people make wings.
It's rare to see people. No, I agree. It is rare.
I feel like people bring in wings for tailgate.
Yeah, they bring in wings. They don't make.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like making stuff. That's why I said chicken.
If you're making stuff, then yeah, I agree with you guys. But yeah, no, it's gotta be wings for me.
Wings are one of my favorite foods.
What about favorite sauce, Vince? Barbecue, buffalo.
Gotta go barbecue.
Barbecue. See, I'm a buffalo guy, so that's hard. But I don't know, man. There's so many. I remember when UC had their college football playoff season. They had a lot of 12 o'clock games because we were in the American at the time. We didn't get the primetime slot. And we went to this tailgate, and they would make breakfast sandwiches and be early in the morning. That was pretty good. But I don't know. Buffalo chicken dip has to be the top tier tailgate food. But let us know what your guys' favorite tailgate food is in the comments below. We're going to do question 2, guys. I thought this would be a fun one. Besides quarterback for an NFL team, what position would you build your NFL franchise around, and what player would you choose?
I can go. So, like normally, I think people would say a receiver, running back, which are good. But I feel like for a receiver, you got to have a decent quarterback, I feel like, to get you that ball on the spot. Running back, I mean, that could still be good, but you still got to pass it. I'm going on the defensive side here. I'm going to go with the edge rusher. I feel like they can control a lot of the defense. And, you got players like Myles Garrett. I don't know. I feel like they're one of the most important pieces on that defense. And that's just why I picked them.
That's I didn't even think about edge rusher. I mean, when I asked this question, left tackle was a big one, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think edge rusher could be a big one. Vince, what about you?
I think of a lot of things, and I think I'm going to agree with Brady with the defensive side of the ball, but I'm going linebacker. I remember hearing from people from a long ago saying linebackers like the quarterback of the defense, pretty much. You're basically commanding and anchoring down that defense. And when I think about that, I think about people, like Luke Kuechly and how he dominated when he was in Carolina for his short career, or like someone I've been watching old college football games recently. Watched someone command the defense like a man Teo when he in his 2012 season at Notre Dame. So I think linebacker there is probably the most important.
So like, you guys both went defense. So do you think, like, what's your thought process? Because like I went wide receiver, because I think if you get that talented wide receiver on an NFL franchise, you build around that. And with the defensive positions, I feel like you're just going and replacing guys season after season, where you get talented wide receiver like Jamar Chase, you could build your whole franchise around. But I get the defensive ones. I really do. I want to also ask you guys, besides quarterback, is there a position you just think impacts winning the most? Like, it doesn't have to be a position you would pick your franchise to build around, but what kind of position you think impacts winning the most?
That's a little difficult.
Because I would say defensive line and offensive line. I
agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
that's
I
want
to single out one like position, because I think it all starts in the trenches, in my opinion.
Every battle is won with the battle in the trenches, and again, how your team operates is through who you got in the trenches, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Just running at the line.
Yeah, but hey, that's our ice-breaking questions of the segment. We've got to get into the show because we got a lot to talk about, and I'm excited. NBA Finals, guys. Game 3 is tonight, 8:30 in New York, a.k.a. Gotham, here in a couple of days. But
win or lose, it's going to be Gotham.
We got to recap Game 1 and Game 2 in San Antonio. I'm going to do Game 1. Brady's going to do Game 2, and we're going to discuss, and then we'll preview Game 3. But Game 1, guys, it was a great game. The New York Knicks went into San Antonio and just took down the Spurs to get a strong stance in these finals. The Knicks won 105-95 against the Spurs. The Knicks just had a crazy second half performance. Their defense was amazing. It was tight. I think they just controlled the whole game, in my opinion. And the Spurs just couldn't finish. They needed way more in their guards, guys. De'Aaron Fox needed to play better. Stephon Castle needed to play better. Wemby, he had a good game, but in my opinion, he needs to start making these winning plays. He hasn't, in my opinion, in these couple finals. And I think the Knicks' experience in Game 1 really showed, and that's why they were able to close it out. I think some of the biggest storylines was the Knicks proved that they go into a hostile environment like San Antonio and look comfortable in there. They didn't look like they were failing or anything. They just went in, played their best basketball, and was able to go in. I have an MVP for the game, and it's Jalen Brunson. He really took over late for the Knicks in Game 1. He ended the night with 30 points, shooting 12 of 31 from the field, and he had just clutch baskets down the stretch. When New York, the Knicks needed someone, they went to Brunson. And I was looking at the box score, and when watching this game, Josh Hart was everywhere.
He's a great player.
He only ended the night with 3 points in that game.
He's so underrated.
He got 15 rebounds. And I really like the plus-minus stat in basketball. He was plus 22. He only had 3 points. I think
he's one of the most underrated players in the league. You got to see him defensively and the heart that he has.
Yeah, it was crazy just seeing everything. And I don't know, man. De'Aaron Fox was the most disappointing player for me in Game 1. He only had 7 points and went 3 of 13 from the field and doing 0 of 4 from 3. Like, he's supposed to be that number 2 guy. And you're leaving Wemby out to dry, in my opinion, after Game 1. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
The guards need to do more for the Spurs, and especially in Game 2. You know what I'm saying? But that was kind of Game 1. It was set the stone for the Knicks, and we go into Game 2, and you think the Spurs are going to come back, but Brady's going to go over that Game 2 for you guys.
Yeah, man. So Game 2, it ended in a 105-104 victory for the Knicks on the road. Didn't really expect that, especially, being the home team losing Game 1 of the NBA Finals. You'd expect them to bounce back and win, but If you guys watch very late in the game, not much time left. Victor Wembanyama made a costly mistake. Wasn't on the same page with his guy, Dylan Harper. Threw it at his back. He wasn't paying attention, and Knicks got the ball. Eventually won it. So that was very heartbreaking, especially if you're a San Antonio fan. Like, imagine being there. Like, this is it. Clutch moment, and then that happens.
Came down, man.
Just not on the same page. That sucked. Thank God I'm not a Spurs fan to watch that.
Yeah.
But this is a must-win for the Spurs tonight. You can't go down 3-0 in a series. And to be honest, these next two games are both must-wins, and that's going to be very difficult in a place like New York with these fans that they have. But, yeah, I think the Knicks right now, they're showing that they can honestly sweep this Spurs team. I didn't think it would come to this point. I had the Spurs winning 6, but it's bad. But I do think the Spurs responded much better after game 1. It wasn't a good game, really, for either team, I feel like. But they responded much better.
They did respond a lot.
Yeah, they did.
I feel like they somewhat matched New York's physicality and obviously ended in a one-possession battle at the end there. If Victor didn't make that turnover, what could have happened? We don't know.
Yeah.
But
that was just a bad turnover, man, by Wemby.
It was bad.
I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know.
I feel like, again, player of the game, you got to give it to Victor. But, hey, what a game for Karl Anthony Towns, though. He is a dog, doing it for his mother, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think New York is just – I don't know. I think Landry Shamet has been a great piece. I saw this story on him today about, like, how he had an injury and all this stuff, and he wasn't getting much time in the playoffs. And the regular season, he got barely any time, but I think an injury happened or something. So he ended up getting in the game and getting minutes, and he had like a game where he scored 36 points. And in the playoffs, he was shooting, I believe, like 11 for 12 for 3 in that Cavs series. In the Cavaliers series, he shot 11 for 12 from the three-point line. He has been a massive game changer for this team, and it's been somebody you wouldn't expect. He even got like on the big screen in downtown Times Square. He was on a massive screen. So such a like random player to step up like that, and I think a lot of the role players for the Knicks have stepped up in this series.
Not to interrupt you, but I personally underrated this Knicks team because they play the most complete team basketball I think I've ever seen, and they're so physical, and they're like, I don't know what the right word is, like they're pesty, like they make you uncomfortable on the court.
Right.
I don't know. It's just the Spurs are in a bad spot right now. You know, you have to win these next two games, and even after winning those next two games, you go back home, but it's hard to beat the same team 3 times, especially in the finals, especially with a team like the Knicks, and we've seen how they have been playing recently. I mean, they haven't lost since Series 1 against the Hawks. They've been red hot, and they've had a lot of break time as well. And this game time right now is about 2 hours,
It's crazy,
2 hours, and Donald Trump will be in attendance. It's crazy. You guys see the policies are doing for the game? It's nuts.
It's basically like a TSA pre-screening, and there's fans are not allowed to be outside the arena. I think
before we get into Game 3, I did want to mention something in Game 2. Did you guys see Jalen Brunson's dad, who's a coach for the Knicks?
Yeah, he is.
Brunson and Fox got in like a little scuffle, and dude went all the way across to the Spurs bench and was yelling at Fox. I thought that was kind of like tacky in my opinion. Like, bro, like I know you're his dad, but come on, man, you're a coach. Like, I thought that was weird, but I want to mention I thought Dylan Harper had the best game in Game 2. He had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He went 6 of 12 on the field, shooting 50%. He was plus 12 in that game, and I don't know, man. He's making such an impact from off the bench. And hot take, he reminds me a lot of Kyrie Irving a little bit. He's not there yet. Don't get me wrong. He's not to that Kyrie level, but they're so similar. Both big guards who get their spot. They rely on their athleticism, and they both have smooth handles. And Dylan Harper, man, he's not afraid of a big moment at all.
He's one of the best rookies right now. He's already is a star, but I can't wait to see what the future holds for that man.
Yeah, but going into Game 3, I just don't know how the Spurs can win a game in New York right now. With how crazy everything is and going on, Vince, I want to know, like, what do you think? What are your thoughts on everything?
Yeah, no, it's a crazy series. I mean, New York's hot, and you're going back into MSG, and I mean, for New York, they could sweep potentially if they use their home crowd advantage the right way. They could go in there, sweep San Antonio, and win the NBA Finals for the first time since since the 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like for New York winning these two games, it's unbelievable, insane.
Have you guys? Do you guys know?
Good.
Do you guys know about Madison Square Garden has one of the most underrated home court advantages? I don't know if you guys have seen, but the away team, the hike they have to make to the stadium, it's like this massive ramp. And like,
I have not seen.
You gotta look into it. Like it's crazy.
I mean, bro, the Knicks fans were outside the hotel booing the Spurs fans walking onto the bus.
Did you guys see Victor today? He was like painting something in a garden with like his sister, and then the head coach of the Spurs was walking around downtown with his children, and fans were yelling at him, Nixon forward and stuff. I think that's a little too far. Like he's with family. I don't know why he's even walking out in the street.
Okay, it's his fault for walking out in New York.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right. Hearing that. I want to also mention. I want to give a shout out to Karl Anthony Towns because his defense in this series against Wemby has been outstanding. Wemby finished game 1 with 26 points, but he only went 6 for 21 on the field. He got to the free throw line, going 12 for 13 from the line. But, man, Cat is making a big, big impact for the New York.
Yeah, very big.
So, but game 3 is tonight, guys. I just want to know, what's your thoughts? What's going to go? What do you think is going to happen tonight in game 3?
Vince, I'll let you take it.
It's going to be a good game, I think, in my opinion. Again, probably another close one like game 2. I think San Antonio could come and sneak away with a win, but you got to think about it. It's MSG. Trump's going to be there. I think the cards are in a perfect line for New York.
Last week, I picked Spurs in 7. Today, in episode 5 of the Nosebleeds Sports Podcast, I'm saying Knicks in 4 because I don't know how the Spurs can win 2 games in Madison Square Garden. I don't. I don't know, Brady. Brady, what's your thoughts? I don't know.
Yeah, I think I just think the Knicks are going to take it. To be honest, I think they've just been playing so well, and the role players are like they've stepped up so much in this series, and especially the entire playoffs. The role players have been unbelievable. So I just have to say I think the Knicks are going to win this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if they sweep it all. And I'd be shocked, to be honest, if the Spurs can come out and actually win a game here. Obviously, it's not impossible, but with this run that New York's on right now and how wild those fans are, you got Trump in the building tonight.
Big game, baby.
I think that
what do the Spurs have to do to take 2 games out in New York, do you think, in your opinion?
I would have to say the Spurs, they have to find a way to get Wemby to score. They got to find a way for him to – I don't know. I just feel like he hasn't been as dominant as he has been in the regular season. I think he has to – it's not like he's been bad, but I just think he needs to be better if this team wants to win. I don't know. I just think the defense too, it hasn't been the worst, but like you gotta start locking. You got Victor Wembanyama,
they're not playing. Yeah, they're not playing how the Knicks are playing defense. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man.
Thoughts?
I just think Wemby needs to be Wemby. I don't think he needs to make the extra play, in my opinion. I just think he needs to play Wemby basketball. But I think Stephon Castle needs to step up. De'Aaron Fox definitely needs to step up. Those 2 guys are probably the 2 most important players on the team besides Wemby. Fox, I saw a TikTok edit today, and it was Fox just, doing layups and stuff and lay-ins when he has an open lane in a Spurs jersey when he was with the Spurs. But young Fox, when he was at the Kings, man, he was dunking everything. I don't know. It's just
I think a lot of it also depends. You got to win the rebounding battle as well. I think the Knicks have been getting a lot of extra possessions, and they've controlled the physical side of the series, in my opinion. San Antonio just can't afford to give New York second chance points, especially when you're on the road. Like that's just you got to start getting those boards, and you have to win the rebounding game. like I said, Victor has to have a big night here. I think also Dylan Harper, I think he has to put up a decent night. De'Aaron Fox, he needs to also step it up. Yeah, I don't know. I think also a massive help would be if the Spurs can start off fast. Like if they can get to a quick start, you cannot let New York start off hot at home. You cannot let that happen. You have to be locked in.
Take the crowd out of the game, pretty much.
Then in the final 5 minutes, if it's a close game, you have to lock in. I mean,
let it play out, man. Just get to that.
We saw how game 2 was. You avoid turnovers. You got to evaluate every possession and make smart decisions. So I don't know.
All right. Game 3, 8:30 tonight. That's why we are filming a little earlier today. I want to get your guys' predictions. Vince, who do you think is going to win tonight, and who do you think is going to win the finals?
With how the first two, I think my pick was Spurs in 6, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. It might be Spurs in 7. I don't know. I picked the Spurs. I remember that. Knicks are up 2-0. They won 2 in San Antonio. They're going to MSG. MSG is going to be rocking tonight. I say the Knicks win it tonight, and I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say they win it 5. I think they get a victory in game 4. The Spurs pick up a victory, but I think the Knicks can pick up that win and San Antonio and take the series in 5.
Brady, what about
I'm going to have to – I was going to say 5 as well. It's either 4 or 5 right now for me, but I'm going to go with 5, give San Antonio a little leeway just because of how close they were in game 2. I could see them possibly winning 1. It's going to be very hard to see it, but you got Victor Wembanyama. It takes one good game out of him, really, I feel like, to win this and just win the rebounding. But like I said, it could be 4. I just feel like
it could go, yeah.
I think New York wins tonight, and it's kind of still hard for me to think that I feel like the Spurs would kind of like give up in that 4th game, kind of if they're down 3-0. But I'm going to take them winning game 5 or game 4, and then New York's going to take it on the road, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm staying to it. I got Knicks in 4. I just don't see a way where the Spurs could go into a red-hot New York City right now, especially how the fans are, because that's what I was going to talk to you about, guys, next. But I just don't know. I don't see the vision with the Spurs going into Madison Square Garden and winning 2 games there, winning a game there. So I got Knicks in 4. I think they're sweeping them. If the Knicks win in 4, guys, New York might turn into Gotham City. And I have a question for you guys. Are the New York Knicks fans, are they saving the NBA right now? What do you guys think?
Vince, I'll let you take over.
I think it's just that like new kind of generation with like crazy fans. I mean, look at what I'm kind of use this as an example, but look at what the Clippers did in their new arena. I think it's, I forget what it's called, but that like dedicated fan section.
That wall, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I just think New York's on another level of crazy, and I think it's bringing more hype and more notice, I think, to the NBA especially.
I wouldn't say they're like saving the series, but I would say they do make an impact. I mean, obviously we haven't seen them play at home yet to say they're saving the series, but
I'm not saying saving the series. I'm saying like saving the NBA as like a popularity where people want to watch just because they're.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of times whenever your team's in the playoffs, it's usually like kind of crazy with that team. But I mean, New York has been, I think.
I don't think it's crazy like this though.
I don't know.
That's just me.
But you got to think it's New York though. Like they're gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love watching all the videos of all the Knicks fans outside Madison Square Garden. Like, it's called Side Talk on YouTube. They went popular in 2020 for the Bing Bong video. Like, I just don't know, man. I feel like the fans are making people watch the finals, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to argue here.
But also,
go ahead.
You go ahead and finish up.
I'm just saying, I think the fans are just saving it, man. And people want to watch because of the Knicks fans, and they're making it feel like a major event. Like you guys mentioned multiple times before, like Trump is going to game 3 of the NBA Finals.
Right.
With all this crazy fans, all the crazy fans outside the arena. Like, I was just thinking in my head the other day, how do the teams even get to the arena with all those people?
It's crazy. They're making, I don't know. I know the players arrive very early, around 2 maybe, I believe. And they even had to like get like a PSA basically check. All the players did. It was kind of crazy. De'Aaron Fox spoke publicly about it. They the league told players that to bring limited items so they could get through quicker, which I think is also a little wild. But
yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
I don't know, man. I think Knicks fans are saving the NBA. But guys, that's finals talk. Anything else you guys want to say about tonight? You guys excited?
I'm excited. I think we've covered it. Brady, you got anything else?
No.
Knicks in 4. I got them going 2-0 in Madison Square Garden. But guys, we got a bigger topic to talk about, I feel like, than the NBA Finals. A lot of news came out today about former Cincinnati Bearcat Brendan Sorsby, now Texas Tech quarterback. Little background. He was banned from the NCAA from playing games because he was betting, he was sports gambling, everything like that. Especially the biggest problem in all of this, he was betting on Indiana while he was a player at Indiana. That's the biggest problem. Originally got banned from the NCAA. They appealed it and went to a Texas court. And this was the tweet that came out by Pete Thamel today. A judge in the district court in the Lubbock County, Texas, has granted the injunction request by Texas Tech quarterback Brandon Sorsby. He's set to be eligible for the 2026 season. Now, Sorsby only has to sit out 2 games, and he gets to play the whole season. I also want to show a quote. This is Texas Tech AD Kirby Hucut. As we've said before, we do not believe that the circumstances of Brendan's case warranted permanent ineligibility. As he returns to our football program, we remain committed to supporting Brendan's recovery and ensuring his compliance with the court's order. A comprehensive support structure, including clinical care and monitoring compliance checks, will remain fully in place for the duration of Brendan's time as a student at Texas Tech. We don't believe the circumstances of Brendan's case warranted permanent ineligibility, but he betted on his team when he was on there. Like, what are we doing?
I just think this is going to set a dangerous precedent related to sports gambling and the sports world. Mm-hmm. I think, like, if this is not wrong, or if you're able to be eligible with what you did with the sports betting, then what are they going to, make you uneligible for? Like, I don't understand this at all. I think this is a terrible decision. NCAA basically shown they have no power. It's beyond me. I didn't think there was a chance that he would come back.
Vince, what were your thoughts when all this news came out today?
I was shocked, for one. I'm like, it's basically, I think for my hot take, I'm gonna kind of give something similar to this. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, no, like, I just think this whole thing, I don't have words, man. I can't believe it, but
I can just go into a whole rabbit hole about this because first, Big 12 teams have came out and just said they don't want to play Texas Tech anymore. Like, they might just forfeit the game. And I agree with them because what are we doing, man? There were so many other student athletes at the time. Iowa State is probably the biggest example where their player got banned because he was betting. Now think about that. Big 12 AD to Big 12 AD. If you're Iowa State's AD, won't you be going crazy right now? Because Sorsby, same thing happened, same motive. Mm-hmm. And now he's able to play. Like, I don't get it. I don't
just put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame at this point.
And Brady mentioned it. It opens up a whole new can of worms now. A player bets, oh, okay, you know what? We're going to go to court. Hey, Brendan Sorsby, you let him play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's bad. It's a terrible look for college football to be able to let this.
The other thing too is, like, if it happens to, like, a certain school, the schools could get, like, a judge be like, that's kind of, has a donor, or, has allegiances to that school, and be like, hey, can you just rule against what the NCAA said, and they can just do that, and boom, he's eligible again. Like,
if you guys have seen too, you got Big 12 athletic directors they're in serious talks right now about not playing Texas Tech because of this, and I honestly don't blame them at all. I don't. This is crazy to me, to be honest.
I was gonna mention, like, think about all the players that have been banned from the NCAA that betted on games. Mm-hmm. Don't you think they're gonna start suing the NCAA now?
Because 100%.
I don't get it. I don't get the process. Why do state laws go over the NCAA? I don't know. And then in the original court hearing, it was supposed to be a Texas Tech judge who was supposed to do this ruling, and he took himself out. And now it was like, I think, a Houston, Texas native judge who did it.
Yeah,
What are we doing, man?
I just think it's crazy how the NCAA cannot enforce their own rules. Like, obviously they said it themselves that they were not going to have him. It was very like not likely for him to play college football again, and then somebody higher gets the thing, and now he can. I don't understand.
How are we not? NCAA before this with NIL and transfer portal, it was broken, but I thought there was still a little hope to get this thing back on track. And after today, I said it to my dad. I think the NCAA is dead. I think it's completely broken. They've showed they can't win in court. They can't fix their own problems. They're letting a guy break the biggest rule in NCAA rules and betting on his own team and letting him play.
They're more worried about expanding the NCAA tournament than people having than rulings in court and having players who have gambled playing the NCAA.
And I totally get it. Like Sorsby, mental health and everything. Yeah, we need to support him, but we also need to keep the foundation of what college sports is all about true and strong, because it's already been broken, but we still had that hope, in my opinion, to get this thing back on track. And I just don't see a way where we get this thing back on track. And one of my other talking points too is Texas Tech. Who wants to play Texas Tech in general? Just not next season, but in the future seasons. Who wants to play Texas Tech in basketball, women's basketball, softball, baseball? Who wants to work with the AD right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a bad look for the NCAA.
It is a bad look for the NCAA.
Very bad look.
It is.
You wish the rules would be followed, and they're not. And I'm a Cincinnati fan. You guys, everyone who watches this podcast, you guys know I'm a Cincinnati fan. If Sorsby was still on the Bearcats, I'd be saying the same thing to you guys as if he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be saying the same thing to you guys.
Yeah.
Because he broke the biggest rule, and I'm scared. I don't think this story is over with. I don't think the saga is over with, just especially with all the news that has came out recently. I mean, the NCAA chairman has spoke, ACC commissioner has spoke. Every big major college sports guy has spoken about this and came out with quotes. But I don't know, guys, and I'm excited. The only part I'm excited about this now is that Texas Tech plays at Cincinnati this season, and it's the homecoming game. So I'm definitely going to go to that. So stay tuned for content. I think in October at the Nosebleeds Sports. But I don't know, guys. What's any more comments on this? Because it's
nah. I got online out about it.
But yeah, Brendan Sorsby, guys, only has to sit out 2 games now because he betted on the team he played for on Indiana. He betted on Reds games at UC. He betted on Bearcat basketball games. He got to Texas Tech. He was still betting. He only has to sit out 2 games. But
I just think it's crazy. Like, he admitted to, what was it, $90,000 in bets? Like, and you just let this man. Oh yeah, just a 2-game suspension. That's fine, especially when you bet on your own team as a quarterback of that team.
If you're a judge, how does that process in your head?
I don't know.
Like, I don't get it. Like,
he's got to be a Tech fan, right? I mean, he has to.
Why are we so worried about letting these players play, and we're not worried about fixing the NCAA? You know what I'm saying? The NCAA is broken, 100%. It was broken before this happened.
Yes,
it's dead now.
It's even broken now.
It's more broken than it was in the beginning.
I don't see a way where we get this thing back on track after today.
It's like a glass tower slowly shattering from the bottom to the top.
I think after this season, they got to look at some rules. And, I mean, I don't know if it'll matter anymore because they can just get a judge to overrule it. But I think they got to get something put in.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete Rose has to be in the Hall of Fame, like I said now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
mean, we got to now at this point. I mean, hell, we're letting Brent Sorsby. All right.
So
I could go. I could keep going on, but
Yeah,
we could spend 3 hours on this.
Moral of the story, guys, this is terrible. We're all in agreement. Yes, Sorsby's mental health, but this was terrible. I don't know, man. NCAA is broken, but any more thoughts on this, guys?
None.
All right. Well, staying on the college football segment, you can't bet on college football 27 now, but there is a lot of new perks on the new game. Brady, give us a little breakdown on the new college football 27 game.
Yeah, I mean, I think college football 27, if you're a football fan, is one of the favorite games to play. I think all of us are going to have a blast doing it. I love rebuilding teams, doing some dynasties with our teams. They sit there and just do that nonstop. But I want to talk about some stuff in the game for people who are interested in it. So there's a new thing called Dynasty Blueprint in college football. So basically, instead of just simply recruiting players, you'll earn Dynasty points by meeting athletic director goals and invest those points into recruiting, NIL opportunities, facilities, coaching staff development. So I feel like Dynasty has a much more realistic approach this year. You can now do NIL basically, and it's going to feel much different. And I've seen there's a lot of stuff with like, you can now have like verbal commits now and they can just decommit, which is something that is in real life too that we haven't seen in the game. There's a lot new stuff with the coaching carousel with you can now sign like any coordinator that you want. Something I'm excited about is dynamic weather. Might not be a big difference, but basically this means like a game could start clear and then it could finish with snow. It's like I know like Ohio State, Michigan, I feel like that's something that will happen with them usually like here and there.
Yeah.
So it gives it more of like authentic feel for like real life. You know what I mean? So like I said, it could just be starting off with rain and then it could just be clear after that. Or, like it could be like a December game and it could start off just like a little cloudy and then midway through it just starts snowing. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of new stuff. You got the Heisman Trophy thing now in the game. So you can see that Road to Glory, new positions with tight end, edge rusher, free safety. That's a lot. It's basically just more. It's a big improvement pretty much. And then for high school as well, you can now import any team to be like in the high school. So I know Vince, something that you might want to like. You can change any high school team and put him as whatever one. So you could do, your little alma mater and whatever you'd want to do. But yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of changes, and
you can do a stadium builder now.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah,
stadium builder is back. That's going to be sick.
Oh,
so mascot mode as well.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Mascot mode. That's going to be
sick.
Do you guys have a team you're looking forward to rebuild on your dynasty? Like you look up the game, you download it. Who you rebuilding?
I'm always going to do Notre Dame just to start off. It's my team. But yeah, I have to see deeper on what teams.
I didn't mean to cut you there, but I always do Notre Dame. I always do something with Miami. Honestly, probably got to be Sacramento State. I got to do something with Sacramento.
It's going to be hard though. I know in the new game because the bigger schools have more NIL money to give out, which is like the Dynasty.
Right, yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah,
I agree. It is too.
A lot smaller of an amount, so it might take you years to get that team up there, but we'll see.
You got to do what you got to do.
Go ahead.
If you saw that the Michigan Ohio State before the rival game, now they have like a little pregame scuffle in the tunnels. That's sick.
That's pretty cool. But I'm looking forward to this game. I think EA has done an amazing job with creating the college football games ever since it came out from the first one. It keeps getting better and better. And I personally think now we're entering the peak of the college football games because you got mascot mode now. You got stadium builder. You got NIL and the dynasty modes. I'm excited.
Brady, the graphics look great on this game as well.
Right.
The game comes out July, right? Correct?
Yeah. Sometime in July. It's early July.
But that's a little college football 27 talk. In the comments below, drop what team you're going to rebuild day one when the game drops and load up. But
yeah,
we're going to stay on the football side but we're going to talk World Cup a little bit.
Heck yeah.
World Cup's going on. It's happening in the United States. They are playing in Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle. What are you guys' thoughts, man, on the World Cup and how exciting it is that's in our home country in the United States?
I never really watched the World Cup or soccer in general, really. I've been going to a couple here and there when I got invited. But I really started, and I've only really watched the World Cup since then. The 2022 World Cup, I think that was crazy. I love that. Actually, that was something I could sit down and watch, to be honest. It was kind of hard at times, but like when it got toward like the end of the game, like I don't know, the crowd environment is so crazy. I think in the US it's going to be nuts.
Vince, what about you, man?
Yeah, like I will always like pay attention and watch the World Cup. I'm not a big soccer person either. Like I'll basically just watch it for the World Cup, and I have a few buddies who play soccer. And I'll go to their games and watch them play. But besides that, really, the World Cup's always an exciting time of year. I mean, it's to get those like, and also those like fan bases and the support of those teams. Like they go crazy for that. Just seeing that, and especially now it's going to be in the U.S., you get to see those atmospheres up live in person. So it's going to be freaking crazy. And I think it's really cool that they're hosting it here in the United States.
Yeah.
I personally just think it's cool. Like Vince said, it's in the United States, and I couldn't tell you a lick of information about soccer, but
No.
I've been kind of watching a little bit. I just think it's cool that it is in our country, the United States, and it's such a big thing. And I don't know about you guys, but I Show Speed's song, the World Cup song,
It wasn't bad.
It was not bad. I think
both of those are good.
Yeah, they're both of them. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I just think, so basically, I'm going to give a little information if that's all right. So, World Cup kicks off on June 11th, which is my birthday on Thursday. So, happy early birthday to me and happy World Cup to those who celebrate it. And it's the largest World Cup ever, featuring 48 teams across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There's some opening matches. Mexico and South Africa is on June 11th. And then June 12th, the USA and Portugal. You guys excited for that, right? We watching.
Do you know where they're playing?
I was trying to like rhyme it. I was trying
to see what you were trying to do there.
That's why I stopped for a second. Yeah,
where are they playing that game at?
I'm not sure. I didn't really think
the US
I just saw.
Is the US game in like LA or Seattle or something? It's on the West Coast.
I don't know. It would be easy to look up if one of you wants to look up. You can. But I think the big storyline: can the USA make a deep run this World Cup? I think they have. I think every year with United States, they have one of the biggest spotlights on them, and I think a lot of American sports fans are going to be watching this. So I think they played. It might have been England maybe last year or in the last
4 years ago they played England. Yeah.
Yes, and that game was crazy for people. I saw the TikTok edits. I was like, this is tough. And I believe honestly this might be Messi's last World Cup. So it's big Argentina.
To update you I was correct. The US will play Friday, June 12th against Paraguay at SoFi Stadium, or as the World Cup is calling it, Los Angeles Stadium.
Yeah.
But it is going to be in LA.
So the favorite to win the World Cup is actually Spain and France. They're the most predicted to win the World Cup right now. I think it goes Spain as number 1, France 2, England 3, Brazil 4, and Argentina 5. So I don't know, man. The U.S., they need to make a sneaky little Cinderella run to really.
Yeah, I kind of want to give something too. If there's like no soccer fans that watch this right now, I need to give you reasons why you should care about this. I feel like this is one of those like events where people who don't normally watch soccer, like they find themselves locked in to watch these games. That was like me. And I feel like that was with a lot of other people too, especially with being in school and people actually wanted to watch it that never like played soccer or watched soccer. I think that was cool to see. But this, you're watching your team play for national pride. You're looking for massive upsets. The atmospheres are nuts. I want to see how they're going to be in the U.S. It's like just seeing that environment and be like, this is in the United States, not like some other country, but we usually see. And then it's always pretty much a win or go home. So for a month, it becomes one of the biggest conversations in sports. So
you also another thing to mention, Brady. It's funny. The World Cup, the group stage of the World Cup starts on your birthday. You want to know what day it ends?
Yours,
My birthday.
June 27th.
That is just a weird coincidence.
Crazy.
Yeah, June birthdays, man. March is the best month out of all the months.
Hey.
Take. But man, I am excited. I know I'll be tuned in the World Cup. I've seen some practices clips so far of all the teams getting in, so all their stadiums that they're going to play at. But like Brady said, man, the World Cup is a big deal, even if you're not a soccer fan, just to watch. So that's the World Cup, and we're going to do some quick hits before we get in our two last main subjects. The Chicago Bears will now be the Indiana Bears. They're moving to Indiana, guys. How do you think about that?
Vince, I'll let you take over.
I mean, where they're moving to, they're moving to Hammond, which, I mean, they're not moving far. They're moving like 20 minutes south of Chicago. I obviously, yes, they're moving to Indiana. That's a big thing, but Hammond's a border town in Indiana, but it's also on the border of Illinois. Just crazy stuff, and I just think the Bears just took the best option they can get.
I mean, I understand what the Bears are doing, but Chicago Bears, that's a historic franchise, man. And you're moving them to Indiana. Like, there's already a team in Indiana. Why? Like, I just think it's stupid not to have a team in Chicago. That's one of the bigger sports cities in America, too. And I understand it's for like their stadium building or whatever, and that's going to be cool with them doing that. But just moving them out of Chicago, though, it's not. I don't like it.
So
I don't like it.
Do they call them the Chicago Bears still? Do they call them the
They're
Indiana
going to still be called the Chicago Bears. I think.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know. I hope they would be, but I don't know. They're not going to be in Chicago, so I don't.
They're not. Here's the thing: they're not going to be in Chicago. But are the 49ers in San Francisco? Are the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo? Are the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas? None of those teams are. They're still going to be called the Chicago Bears because they can market their name off a big city.
I don't know.
We'll see, man.
Yeah, I just like Brady said. Chicago's Bears is a story NFL team. It's just going to be weird. I know it's only like a couple hours away from where the old stadium is, but still, it's weird. But that's a little – Bears are moving to Indiana, guys. That's just still crazy to think about. NBA, whole new rebrand for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Personally, I think it's the best jersey combo brand identity right now in the NBA. They went back to that little classic look with the neon green, the little navy. They brought back the old school jerseys, but put their own current spin on it with the trees on the trim.
Brady,
what do you think, man?
I really like it. I think a lot of teams have been like just, I don't know, mid. And I know the Rockets just did a rebrand too. I don't know if you guys have seen those. I was not a fan of those at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like the black jerseys that they had where it was like, I usually love black jerseys. I don't know how you can go wrong with them, but they had like the red, and I didn't like the yellow Jordan symbol. Just didn't go with the jersey. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of the Rockets, but the Timberwolves, though, I loved it. I think the new logo is nice. They showed the court. I'm not as high on their black jersey either. I think it's just too much with the tree design on like the neck and the arm. And maybe that's a hot take. I understand that's like their branding. Like the tree's a massive part in their identity, but I just think it's too much going on with that. But I think beside that, the jersey's sick. I love everything they did with their jerseys. I think like their normal ones where it was just like the white and you had like that navy. It was just boring. It was a boring jersey, and they like in that light green that they had. I love it. I love their jerseys.
I think it's the best brand identity.
It's a clean rebrand.
I think it's the best. But the biggest NBA team that needs a rebrand currently right now with having the first pick in the draft is the Washington Wizards. They've had the same jersey since I was born, probably.
They've probably had this. Haven't they had like the same identity since like Jordan was on the team?
A lot of teams.
Well, when Jordan was on the team, they were rocking the blue.
Yeah, sure. It's been what I'm trying to say. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
it's
been a while.
They need to say that about the Pistons too.
Yeah, this is probably the first time for Wizards to change it with pick. It's mostly likely going to be AJ DeBantis out of BYU. So I don't know, man. The Wizards really need it.
I hate to say it, but I feel bad for whoever's going to Washington. Like, I don't know. I just feel like who sits and watch besides a Washington fan. Like, I don't know who watches that team.
But but now they're in like a favorite position now because I feel like people will watch AJ.
I don't know, but I know he does not want to go. Did you see his reaction when they got announced the first? He did not. Yeah. He's doing anything in his power not to go there.
I know AJ's going to be the first pick, and we'll probably discuss this in the future, but I think Darren Peterson's the best player in that whole draft class. I know him sitting out the games were kind of a topic, but we'll talk about that another show. But I want to get into one of our last segments before our hot takes, guys. And it's kind of me and Vince could really hit on this. Brady, I don't know about you. Well, I personally think the Cincinnati Bengals, it's their year or bust. It's Super Bowl or bust for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I think this offseason was probably the perfect offseason for the Cincinnati Bengals. They went out, Saboye Mafe, Brian Cook. They made one of the biggest trades in franchise history, trading their 10th pick to get Dexter Lawrence, probably one of the best defensive tackles. There's no drama. There's no more drama anymore. The only major storyline left right now is Cassius House, second-round pick. He has not signed his rookie contract yet, but that has to be done. I'm expecting that to get done. And why I'm excited is because Joe Burrow had his first press conference of the offseason a couple weeks ago, and he just flat out said, yeah, we're going to win a Super Bowl this year. Like, I just think that's huge for all the storylines that Joe Burrow went through last NFL season. People saying, oh, he's not having fun. He wants to retire. He wants traded. For him to just come out and say, yeah, we're going to win a Super Bowl. And then he just posted an Instagram post saying, having the most fun I've had. Like, this is my happy place. I think that speaks levels. And I think it's a massive year for Zach Taylor, but I think that's good. I like the pressure on Zach Taylor because now he knows he needs to perform. And I don't think Zach Taylor's a bad coach. I really don't. I think he got screwed the last couple of years with the defense, in my opinion. The front office did not make the moves they needed to have a good defense, in my opinion. Now they do, and I think that defense could be top 15, maybe even the top 10. I don't know. That might be crazy because I don't see a hole on the whole team. I think the biggest concern is probably the two young linebackers, but I'm expecting them to make their rookie to sophomore year jump. But, Vince, I want to hear it from you. What makes you excited for this Bengals season that's coming up? Because OTAs just started.
Right. OTAs have started officially for the NFL. I just think this team, I just think that there's like an aura around this Bengals team this year. And just you pick up Dexter Lawrence, you make some good moves. Yes, Cassius House taking a minute to sign his contract. Well, look what happened the last time we drafted a defensive lineman from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, I mean, there's like
a big part to play with it right now, too, honestly.
Right. Again,
because they want to get that wording. I forget the whole drama, but yeah.
I'm not worried too concerned about that. We got Burrow. We got Chase. We got Higgins. The boys are ready to run it back. I think this is going to be it's a boom or bust year for the Bengals, and they need to win now. And the other thing, too, I want to mention, Zach, why we have this second is over the week, there have been posts on social media. These piss me off saying, again, do you talk about how like people are to say, "Oh, Burrow's unhappy"? Like, have you seen the tweets like saying that the Rams should trade for a 2 years should trade for Burrow or something?
But they never do that respectfully. They never do that with Lamar. They never.
They never do.
And it's always Burrow. And
it's always freaking Burrow.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't know.
I don't either. I don't either.
It's literally because of that. Listen, Burrow went through a lot last year with the turf.
He did.
And I get it. Like, people think, oh, he's a big-time quarterback. He gets a big-time contract, but he's human at the end of the day, and he went through a lot of injuries. That's going to take a toll on him. And obviously he's going to be pretty upset when those pressures happen. They're not doing too good. He just had that awful Bills game last year where he got the 2 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But this offseason is just – it's – feels like it's too perfect for the Bengals not to go on a run.
Right.
Brady, as the outside looking in, you're not a Bengals fan, but you're from the Cincinnati area. You see all the stuff. What's your opinion on this Bengals team right now as we head into OTAs, about to start training camp for the summer?
I think they look like a decent squad right now. Obviously, you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. The defense made those new upgrades like you guys have talked about. I think the defense should be not as bad this year. I hope that they can do decently well. And again, let's see what they can do with T. Higgins and Jamar back on the receivers. So I think that's going to be cool. Hopefully Burrow stay injury free this year. That's big. That's big for them.
Oh,
I just don't know about Super Bowl for the Bengals. I don't know about that. I think this year there's a lot of stacked teams. I just don't. I don't know for the Bengals.
No one in the AFC scares me though, and it's just like I know that might be crazy to say, but like Patriots, Drake May or Joe Burrow. I'm going Joe Burrow 10 out of 10.
Patriots are a young team. The Chiefs just came off of a terrible year. The Broncos don't really scare me. Everyone in the AFC North just hired a new head coach. The AFC South, there's really never a real threat in the AFC.
I think the Ravens, personally.
You think the Ravens will win the division?
I think they're back. I think Jesse, the head coach signing is great. I looked at Instagram. So when he got hired, I looked at the Chargers Instagram post where he said that he was leaving. All the fans were talking about dropping down to their knees in Walmart and talking about how they were like so depressed and stuff.
He's a great
I
coach.
think this defense,
He is a great coach.
Defense may be top 5 this year, to be honest. That might be crazy, but you got a defensive-minded head coach, and he's done great things at his position. I don't know. We're going to have to see how it plays out.
Who's your defensive tackles right now, though?
I think the Ravens have great defensive players, but I think with what they've been given at their defense coordinator, I just feel like they haven't been as well because of that. I don't know. I think they have big names on there. So
I don't know, man. I think
you got a whole new coaching staff. So
yeah, I think the Bengals and Ravens are definitely going to be 1 and 2 in the division for sure.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be the top 2 no matter what.
Yeah,
see if they can finally lock down Jamar Chase. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Same way with AJ Green, they couldn't do it.
When you got a new coaching staff, I think it takes a
year. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, here's the thing with the Ravens: are they going to be good in the future? Yes. Is this it's always teams always? I feel like you just never see teams come out with this like bang with first year head coaches. The Patriots, they're the exception in my opinion because you had Vrabel, they had the foundation, and I honestly think they should have hired Vrabel when they fired Belichick. And not hire Gerard Mayo. That was a boneheaded decision by Robert Kraft, but we're not talking about that right now. But at the same time, I think it always just takes a little bit of time. And could the Ravens in the next year or two be up on that level where they're potentially contending for Super Bowls? Yes. Do I see it this year? No.
I'm just saying this coaching staff has pretty much been here since like February area. I mean, football doesn't start till fall. So, I mean, they have plenty of time to get to know these people and understand what they're doing. So I mean, they've had a lot of time.
You can have all the time to prep, but when you get into games, in my
opinion, I understand.
Right.
Probably, like as a fan, the Kansas City Chiefs are the only team that scares me in the AFC. I
can see that.
I think Patrick Mahomes has a great offseason healing his ACL, and Travis Kelce might be his last year, so you just don't know what he's going to do. And the defense is great, but I don't know, man. I think it's the Bengals' year to go to the Super Bowl and win it this year and take it home and bring the Cincy. But any more, guys, NFL?
I don't have any more, but is it time for hot takes?
Last topic of the show, hot takes of the week. Probably a fan favorite segment. Who wants to start it off with us? Because I really like mine.
I think I got a spicy one. Again, I'm
start first. You got a spicy one. I'll go first. Mine's not like I'll leave. I don't think mine. It may not be that spicy. I mean, it might be. You guys might think it's crazy, but I think the 2020 NBA Finals are one of the harder finals to win. I know a lot of people call it the Mickey Mouse Championship. LeBron James, that was the bubble year, but you got to think, dude. All these players were thrown off their schedule, having to stay there, and many of NBA players have spoken about this and said that it was one of the harder finals to win as well. You got to think, dude, teams had to spend 93 days straight inside their hotel rooms. Some that made to the finals had to be 100 plus. There was no home court advantages, no travel days, and no like fans to feed off of with those games. And then like the physiological like strain like that the players had to have for like months of just strict isolation away from families and outside world, like that takes a massive toll on people because like these people weren't allowed to see their families. It was very strict. Like, I mean, they were in Walt Disney World's resort for up to 100 days. without their families, which you're used to doing, especially with the home team going back home and being with your family and stuff. There's not really like normal social outlets. Really, I don't know. You couldn't really get that social experience there. A massive change in scenery for these people, and you had a Rajon Rondo and Danny Green literally said that the emotional fatigue of being trapped in a compound was one of the hardest hurdles that they had, especially in their experience there. And like I said earlier, the home court advantage, like without a crowd to like feed off of in their own arenas to play, and especially like we just talked about the Knicks earlier in the playoffs, or early in this talk, like in their playoffs and stuff, like those fans, like a lot of that is like the Knicks feeding off of those fans and like getting them going and stuff. And you can't go off of that. You can't rely on momentum. It's just pure game. And I don't know if you had seen too during that, a lot of role players would like just randomly drop 30 points because like you don't
TJ
have
Warren.
Yeah, you don't have like any like stress or like outside just like you're just playing ball. You're strictly just playing ball. And there was no, I think a lot of stuff too with like road trips and NBA road trips, like returning home to sleep in your own bed, like that was completely eliminated during that. And players had to like just completely lock in.
Yeah.
And I
don't think that's hot because I agree. Yeah. I think the only thing. Go ahead, yeah.
I'm just saying it's hot because I know a lot of people call it the Mickey Mouse Championship and how LeBron and stuff, it's like the easiest one. But like when players literally came out themselves and said it's one of the hardest ones, and
you go with the players, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, they weren't there to understand it. You know what I mean? So it's.
I mean, look at Jimmy Butler, for example, in the finals. He's like leaning on the table or something because it's so stressed out. I agree with that just because it was just pure basketball. Damian Lillard, I just watched a podcast about this because it's funny. We're talking about this. He said it was like an AAU tournament. And like, I think the Lakers or someone else was playing on the main court and then the Blazers were practicing on the other court because they had a game after that. And he's just like watching, like
it's crazy,
opening up the curtain. I agree with that. I do because
I agree as well.
I think bubble basketball was the best. And I mentioned TJ Warren. I know my guy, Gary Clark, he had 15 points against the Bucks and Giannis in a playoff game that year with the Magics and the Bucks. I mean, that's crazy.
Nuts, man.
I do agree. I think bubble basketball is very underappreciated. It was peak NBA basketball, in my opinion.
No, I agree as well. I mean, again, when you don't have to feed off of that like fan atmosphere, and also look at the MLB as well. I mean, their playoffs as well. Like they had to play. I think the World Series between the Rays and the Dodgers was played in Texas.
You're correct, yeah.
With like limited limited crowds. Like it's tough to win those championships, and people say the Dodgers won a Mickey Mouse champ. I think they had to fight harder than any other team, and every team in that 2020 MLB tournament had to fight harder. But I'm gonna we get a transition in mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna stick on the topic of the NCAA, not more with the Sorsby situation, but I think the integrity of the NCAA was ruined because of the Michigan cheating scandal. Now, 2023, the Michigan cheating scandal happened. People thought the NCAA was going to lay the hammer on Michigan for the Connor Stallions, the sign stealing system, everything like that. People thought Michigan had to vacate wins because the last time a lot of these cheating things happened, like look at Ohio State, they had to vacate a bunch of wins. Notre Dame had to vacate that entire 2012 season for I think like a cheating scandal, not like something like a Suddy scandal or something like that. I forget.
Yeah, it was a staff member that helped a Notre Dame football player like out like cheating pretty much.
Right, cheating in the classroom. People thought a on-field cheating scandal for Michigan was going to have them vacate their wins from 21, 22, and 23. None of that happened. Michigan kept their wins throughout that entire stretch. The only thing that happened is the Stallions are suspended. Harbaugh, if he ever returns to football, he's suspended. It just that cheating scandal, in my opinion, ruined the NCAA for a lot of people because people thought the NCAA wasn't serious. And now what keeps happening after that Michigan cheating scandal proves the NCAA isn't serious. And now with the courts getting involved, not just with Brendan Sorsby case, but also in the case of Trinidad Chambliss. him continuing to play football, and other players going to court to fight for eligibility, I think that whole cheating scandal just opened up a can of worms, and people thought the NCAA is not a serious organization anymore. And if they maybe laid the hammer down, we could be having a whole different conversation. But I think that cheating scandal basically opened up Pandora's box for all that's happened right now with the NCAA.
I definitely agree with that being probably the start, but I also do want to say, like, I think the transfer portal and NIL.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not
the downhill of
it's not the only factor that has started their downfall, but I think it's like
I think it's one of them though.
I think it's a big factor that helped start it up, get it fired up, in my opinion.
Brady, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean I could see it. I think 2023 was kind of like the year where it all started. After that, just kind of started going downhill. But I mean, it's still my favorite sport to watch, and it doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah,
See, that's not to get into this game, but that's what I'm scared of, where the sport becomes unwatchable.
Me too.
That's
I don't think it will come to that. I don't think
it's going to come to that, but
I just want to fix. That's all I want. But
I hear you,
Vince. I agree with your hot take, man. I think that was pretty good. I think that's pretty good. But I got a good one, and I'm staying on the topic of Brady, NBA bubble. I think the 2020 Clippers would have won the NBA Finals if it was not for the bubble and COVID and everything. Now, let me explain. The Clippers probably had one of the best rosters that year. It was the first season of Kawhi, Paul George. They had great role players in Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Patrick Beverley, Marcus Morris. With a season of them almost having a perfect home court advantage, energy, everything like that, it got ruined from the COVID and the bubble, and COVID disrupted their momentum. The season stopped in March, and they didn't resume until late July. So, like, I think momentum's a big part in sports, and that just ruined it for the Clippers. It sucks, and the bubble hurt some of their key players. I mean, Lou Williams, he's now called Magic City Lou now because he went out to Magic City and got their wings because he didn't like the food in the bubble. You got Montrezl Harrell leaving the bubble for a family emergency and returning out of shape. You got Patrick Beverley also missing a lot of time in the bubble. The team never seemed to get that chemistry back like they did when they were in the regular season and performing like they did. Also, the Clippers were slated to have home court advantage in the playoffs if the bubble never happened. They don't get that now. And you go into an NBA bubble where it's 50-50 split. You got no fans, like Brady mentioned. It's just pure basketball. And I also think the Clippers matched up with the other hometown team in the Lakers. I think a lot of people viewed the Clippers as the team the most capable to beat that Lakers team because we all thought that Lakers team was as well as really good. But I don't know, man. I think the Clippers would have beaten the Lakers. And one reason, man, I think the 2020 Clippers could have won the NBA Finals because they were really starting to hit their stride before the COVID shutdown. From late February into early March, they put it together a 6-game winning streak and just looked like one of the best pure basketball teams in the NBA. The run included wins over playoff teams, and they showed the NBA what they could be when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George is playing healthy and the chemistry is clicking. But the streak finally ended on March 8th where they lost the Lakers 112-103. And that felt like a potential Western Conference final preview. And then just a couple of days later, the bubble shuts down. But I think the Clippers are one of the biggest what-ifs for that 2020 season. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I hear you, man. I agree.
I don't know. I think the Lakers still were, like, amazing, and I think that was definitely a title team. But my take on why I kind of disagree with you, so the Clippers basically they finished 49-23 that year, and they would have had multiple home court advantages throughout the playoffs. And I think a lot of people thinks that would help them, and it would. But the Clippers, like you kind of touched on a little bit, they had chemistry and focus issues all season that year, and I think the bubble. Personally, I think the bubble removed like distractions for some teams, and I think the Clippers would have been one of those teams too. And I think after that like collapse against the Nuggets, I think there might be deeper issues to that as well. Like they blew a 3-1 lead and double-digit leads in games 5, 6, and 7. which I don't understand. I don't know. That's just not something that you can do, especially when you're up 3-1 and just kind of giving up like that. And I don't think it's because they lacked a home crowd. I think it was honestly because their offense just became stagnant. Like their chemistry just broke down, and they struggled to adjust against the Nuggets team during that series.
But what I'm saying is the momentum ruined it because they stopped playing basketball in March and they resume in July. That's a long time.
Yeah, I know, and that ruins it for everybody, though. To be honest, and not just the Clippers. I feel like every team that was in that playoffs, like, kind of ruins it for everybody. But I don't know.
But I also think their distractions happened in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the bubble never happened, do we think that those distractions happened?
Well,
I
think
Lou Williams left the NBA bubble, what was supposed to be the most secured place at the time during COVID, to go get wings. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. That was probably the biggest hyped time for the Clippers with Kawhi and Paul George. I don't know, man. I thought they could have won it, bro. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think I get you too, but you kind of said like how they had that momentum. But to be honest, though, like, and you said like the issues as well. You think that's what I meant to say. The issues that you talked about happened like when they got in the bubble, but I think a lot of them too, like they happened throughout the season too. Like players were talking about how they were frustrated like by the special treatment given to the stars of the team, and I don't know. There's that big load management thing with Kawhi and all that, and there was issues before the shutdown that I think there was personally. So I don't know. I just think there's a lot of stuff with the team and frustrations with players.
I'm just saying I think the Clippers probably had the biggest momentum going to the playoffs if COVID never happened. Now, do I think they would have won the finals? Maybe. But it's hard seeing the Clippers win the finals. But, yeah, that's my hot take. But
I got you.
Any more guys today? Finals, Sorsby, Bengals.
I think that's all. We think we covered everything.
Again, I want to remind you guys who are watching, no show June 15th. We will be back June 22nd with episode 6. Maybe we got more Sorsby talk to resume. I mean, the saga.
We got 2 weeks of sports we got to cover, boys. We got a lot.
The saga of Brendan Sorsby might continue. NBA Finals, we're going to know a champion by then.
Yeah.
Guys, anything else?
Got nothing, man.
I think we covered it all.
I'm Zach. That's Brady. That's Vince. This is episode 5 of the Nosebleeds Sports Podcast. Please go follow us on all our socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Turn on post notifications. That's it from the Nosebleed Studios. Peace out.